What's going on, guys? Aarava here, and welcome back to my F1 2017 mod career mode here with Esteban Ocon's Force India. We're here for round number 2, episode number 2 for the Chinese Grand Prix. If you did miss the first episode uploaded a couple of days ago at the Australian Grand Prix, be sure to go check that one out before you see this one. But obviously, we really kicked off the season in the best way possible at the Australian Grand Prix, and here's hoping we can sort of match it. Qualifying a bit better for us. Once again, we are beaten by our teammate Sergio Perez, but in terms of the actual position, it's P9 rather than P11 here for the Chinese Grand Prix. You can see clearly there also on the indicator, the tyres were the full wet tyres, the blue wall tyre, full wet qualifying on Saturday. So a bit of a difference for the race here. Looks like it's going to be all sunny skies for this Chinese Grand Prix. But we'll see. You never know. There may be some rain. Obviously, I didn't expect it to rain in qualifying, so there may be some to come. But it's a front row lockout for the Mercedes guys. Last time out, it was Kimi Raikkonen who came out on top with a 1-2 for Ferrari. So Mercedes will be pretty damn pleased about that. But obviously, we're just focusing on ourselves in P9. And hopefully, we can once again get the jump on a few cars in the opening stages. Obviously, Perez got a very unlucky last race with an engine failure, so he's hoping we get 2 Force Indias to the finish then. So we go to 5 red lights to the Chinese Grand Prix, the second round of the 2017 season here for our Season 2 mod career. 5 red lights are out and we're underway, and it is a great start there compared to our teammate Perez as we try and close up and overtake him before we even get to turn 1. It's a good start for Felipe Massa as well. Into turn 1, very, very cautious though, because Lance Stroll cuts across us. He goes from the right side of the circuit right to the left-hand side, so very, very good that I actually backed out of that. Otherwise, that would have been a crash actually with Stroll, as we now go round the outside of him, as Sergio Perez does the exact same thing. So a bit of a kind of identical move being made, or trying to be made here. Perez is a bit more successful with it against Massa than I am with Stroll, but we're going to dive down the inside hopefully and try and get this move done. We're on the medium tyres. I forgot to mention that both me and Perez have opted for the medium tyres, of course, because we qualified on the full wet. So you can choose whatever dry tyre you want. So as we swoop around the outside of Felipe Massa, basically the plan it looks like for both our Force India cars is going as long as we can into this race on medium tyres. I didn't expect Perez to actually choose mediums, but that was definitely my intentional plan, to go on mediums. I'm basically going to stretch this tyre as long as we can go. Obviously, it's the 2017 compound of tyres, so these tyres are very, very durable indeed here. So we're going to just try and go as long as we can until they basically start to wear out on us and break and hit the cliff, and then we'll go on to probably a set of soft tyres, I would imagine, but we'll see. Could be a set of super softs, but good to see that me and Perez seemingly are on the same sort of strategy. We can try and help each other perhaps, but we're on to lap 3 now, as you can see, as we go across the line, and essentially you saw us trying to close up to Perez initially on that last hairpin on lap 2, but wasn't able to, and into turn 1 of turn 3 we're trying to close up, and once again getting hit with a waft of dirty air behind Perez's rear end, so we have to kind of go a little bit wide and almost go off circuit completely, so he managed to just control it. But in P8 at the moment, which is pretty decent, we can see the 2 Red Bull cars aren't too far up the road at the moment, so it looks like we could be able to maybe, I don't know, challenge them with some straight line speed, obviously, that we have with the Mercedes engine there. They've got the Renault engine, but speaking of that straight line speed, we're going to use that to good effect with slipstream to try and maybe overtake our teammate Perez. Here we go with DRS wide open on the inside of the hairpin, nice and easy into the brake zone. He's going to try and hang it around the outside. We're going to try and have to give him the room, but try and squeeze him out as much as we can on the exit. But he's going to have the inside line for the final corner, so do we brake early and try the switch back? We're going to try so, and we're going to get a better run out of the final corner. So although we give up the position in that final corner, we get a better run down this main straight on the pit straight as we move on to lap 4 now. So we go into turn 1 ahead of him into P7. A little bit iffy on the entry actually, as we had to slow it down quite a bit, otherwise we would have gone off circuit once again, but we do manage to get that, and so we're up into P7. So decent progress already on lap 4, and now let's try and see if we can maybe chase down Ricciardo. I don't think it's going to be a possibility, but now this is pretty much where our tactic comes into play. You know, these guys, looks like, I think I want to say the entire top 6 I think are all either on super softs or soft tyres. So pretty much now is where we calm things down and basically just run our own race and basically just go as long as we can on the medium tyres. Don't try and fight Perez, or well, hopefully don't try and fight him too much. You can see on the mini-map there, and you can see on the top left, Raikkonen has come in a little bit early. He's on the super soft tyres. He started the race on super soft, so he's come in a little bit earlier than everyone else as Perez swoops round the outside there. So as I mentioned, not fighting Perez, we are going to fight him and go side by side, hopefully for not too long here, but we're going to try at least and protect our position if we can round the outside. Not going to work out for us, so we may be trying the switchback move, but no, Perez actually loses a bit of traction on the second phase of that exit, but it's not going to be, so we're down to 7th place now. He's up into 6th with Raikkonen making that earlier pit stop, and so we can't make a diving move, so we have to stick behind him and try and see if we can maybe make a move in the S section, or perhaps just wait patiently for that back straight, obviously. But now is probably the time where we're going to see people making their pit stops. Raikkonen's already done so on super softs, and I would imagine soon enough, in a couple of laps time, the guys on soft tyres will be making that pit stop. But you can see a bit of dirt here in the S section. We go off onto the grass a little bit in the S section, but thankfully don't lose too much time against Massa behind us on those soft tyres. But we will, as I said, patiently just wait for the DRS detection point, which will come up in a second. As you can see, going wide a little bit more. So at the moment, really not. I need to kind of concentrate a little bit and compose myself, because we're losing crucial time here to Perez. But now as we get on towards the back straight, we won't be able to lose any time here. Definitely not in a straight line. So we'll get the DRS open and try and slipstream Perez back, basically, and try and gain back the time we may have lost. We won't be able to make a move into the hairpin. We're far too away from Perez, unfortunately, on this lap here. But we will close up in the braking zone and try and get away as best we can from Massa and Stroll. But at the moment, it's all very 2017-esque, really. A lot of kind of single file lines at the moment, as we're all trying to just equalise in pace, basically, and try as hard as we can to push on. You can see a lot of purple sector times being set there up ahead, and looks like the Red Bull cars are trying to get the hammer down there, as they maybe saved a little bit of tyre wear in the first few laps of the race, and now are trying to get the hammer down to chase after what will be the two Mercedes cars and one of the Ferraris, not both of the Ferraris, of course, as Raikkonen's already made his pit stop. But now into turn 2, trying to go around the outside of Perez, and once again, not going to work, but this time we get tucked in a little bit more here, and with Rich Mix, we should be able to pull up here. Obviously, I can't use too much Rich Mix with this 2017 mod, because the fuel really does burn very, very quickly. But we go down the inside here. We're going to go side by side on the exit with our teammate here, trying to go around the outside. We'll have the inside line eventually for the next right-hander in the S section, so we swoop round the outside of Sergio Perez. They're having a lovely little battle there with our teammate so far on lap 6, and we're going to get, hopefully, the place. He's going to still stick it down the inside. No, he's not. We're going to cut him off there, and we are back up into what will be P6 now in the Grand Prix. Now, hopefully, that'll be the end of the fighting, but I say that very tentatively, because Perez could DRS us back into this next straight. So we'll see as we go through the left and then the right to the long kind of basically traction zone on the right hand side here. But let's see as we go through, climb up the gears. Obviously with 2017 downforce, we can get the power down a lot easier than we would do in maybe races like my driver at China. But now as we just look in our mirrors, it doesn't look like on the mini map as well, doesn't look like Perez is actually getting the speed to maybe try and make a move. So I think we're safe for now. So as we move on to lap 8 now, through the final corner on lap 8 towards lap 9, you can see on the mini map a lot of people in the pit stops. We're setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so we're pulling out the pace here in the Force India. The medium tyres working very well indeed, and the only people yet to pit are the two Red Bull cars, it looks like, because Verstappen's then on top left. Eventually they do. It's actually Verstappen and Bottas, my mistake. So Bottas and Verstappen go one more lap onto lap 10 before they pit. So now we're in complete fresh air. We're in P1, Perez is P2, and Bottas is coming out in the top pack of the leaders in third place here. So basically, looks like me and my fellow teammate, Force India teammate, are the only ones doing this strategy, as Nico Hülkenberg is out this Grand Prix, seemingly with an engine failure. But the plan is now for us two Force Indias just to go as long as we can, as I mentioned. But here's the engine failure for Nico Hülkenberg. Unfortunately for him, doing a pretty decent job so far, I think it was, in the Grand Prix so far, but goes out on the main straight there. So as we move on to lap 13, you can see as we go down the back straight, you'll be able to see Hülkenberg parked up there on the right-hand side. As we look behind us, you can just see him go off in the distance. But yeah, 1-2 for Force India at the moment. Just try and go as long as we can onto lap 14. No issues right now, apart from Lance Stroll going out of the Grand Prix. As we look at a replay now of that, we're actually looking at Fernando Alonso, because this is the only way we can actually look at the engine blow-up, basically, for Lance Stroll. But you're about to see it there. Alonso met with a waft of smoke there in his face there as Lance Stroll exits the Chinese Grand Prix with the engine failure. But now we move on to the end of Sector 1 on lap 14. Still in first place there, and actually setting a purple first sector there. We're able to actually pull a lot of time in the first sector, obviously, with basically just straights, effectively, in turn 1, which you can gain a lot of time on the AI. But then through the second sector, we're losing a bit of time, but generally still keeping this gap pretty damn decently. And then a third retiree in this Grand Prix, Pascal Wehrlein. So at the moment, the Chinese Grand Prix seemingly like a very treacherous Grand Prix, but this time, difference is Pascal Wehrlein does not go out with an engine failure. He actually goes out by hitting the Mclaren car on the pit exit, so he's got no tyre there, so very unfortunate for him. So as we move on now to the end of lap 17, on towards lap 18, we've gone so long now on these medium tyres. We've got 10 laps to go only in this Grand Prix, and we're still on the same set of mediums. Absolutely awesome. We're still in first place. Perez is still second, and Massa right now is in third place. There's Bottas, and all the rest of them have made a second pit stop in this Grand Prix. So while they're doing a 2-stop, I think we could pull off the 1-stop here. We come into the pits now, and we're going to go onto a set of soft tyres, and by just using Bottas as a yardstick, Bottas went 10 laps on softs, so we should easily be able to go on 10 laps on the soft tyres. So we could be pulling off the 1-stop here and dare I say it, really fighting for the top positions because they've lost, you know, an entire, I would say, at least 15 seconds. I don't know exactly what the exact amount of time you lose in the pit lane here at China, but it's a significant amount there to be doing the 2-stop v the 1-stop. So we could actually be pulling off an absolute worldly strategy. And the same for Perez, because Perez is on the mediums, and he's gone 1 lap longer now. He's out right now at the moment on medium tyres, still going on. So he could pull off that strategy as well. But I have a suspicion that, you know, with the AI being the AI, I think Perez may not be doing that. Let's see as we move later on into the Grand Prix. We're now on board and looking at Sergio Perez coming into the pit lane now. He's on mediums, obviously, since the start, but let's see what tyres he goes on. I have an annoying feeling that it won't be the softs, unfortunately. I think just being the AI, being a little bit clumsy, I don't think he'll go onto the soft tyres. Let's see. So he's going to peel in to the pit box now as he goes down the pit lane now. What tyre is he going to put on? It looks like to me it's going to be the super soft tyre, which is going to be very, very annoying because I doubt Perez will be able to take that super soft to the end. If he does, fair play to him. But we come down the pit lane now on the pit straight on lap 20. We will get back into first place. You can just about see in the background there. There is Perez exiting the pit lane. He is in second place now. But as you can see, the red striped super soft tyres on the car. So we're going to the end of the Grand Prix. At the moment, we're in first place. We're looking very decent. But you can see there on screen, Vettel setting the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Ricciardo setting the fast lap of the Grand Prix. All the top 6 are basically going to be pushing like an absolute stabbed rat, basically to try and catch us on what will be either the soft tyre or the medium tyre at the end of the Grand Prix. They're obviously going to have a lot more pace. The only advantage I have is I'm about 15 seconds up the road, basically. So as we move on to lap 26, you're going to see Sergio Perez, unfortunately, I think this is the lap where he's going to come into the pits. There you go. It came up on our screen. Teammate in the pits, so very, very frustrating. If he just went on to soft tyres, he could have been joining us for this fight right now for what could be a really great first position, because at the moment you can see, look at the tyre wear, the 2017 compounder tyres coming in absolute clutch for me. No, pretty much no tyre wear here around China with the 2017 compounds as it is in real life, basically. You can just push as long as you can and as long as you want. And with the 1-stop here versus the other guy's 2 stops, it's looking like it's going to be the winning strategy, because we come through to the end of the hairpin, lock up a little bit as the tyres are going off a little bit at this stage on lap 28. But you can see Bottas second place, Hamilton third, but they're nowhere near me because they lost too much time in that second pit stop. So we come through to the final corner, and I can't believe I'm going to say it, but we're going to weave around. It's going to be first bloody place in the Chinese Grand Prix for Esteban Ocon. We have won a Grand Prix in the Pink Force India car in the second round of the season. Absolutely awesome job that is. That's been a stonking strategy for us. Esteban Ocon, eat your heart out. Victory in Formula 1 there for Force India. Absolutely awesome. Valtteri Bottas gets second. Hamilton in third, but that's going to be an awesome amount of points, because obviously we're not going to be able to really, you know, repeat this big feat many times in the season, but it's going to really help us in the later stages when we're fighting Red Bull and the constructors. I would imagine this win, this bulk of points over the Red Bull cars is really going to help us. Max Verstappen there and Daniel Ricciardo 6th and 7th in the championship at the moment. We're in second place at the moment, only 2 points off Kimi Raikkonen, which is crazy to think, but obviously it's not going to really last for too long, let's be honest. But we're going to savour it for the moment. We're going to drink in the champagne, obviously, because it's not every day you see a Force India winning. And you can see in the moment in the constructors, we're third place ahead of Red Bull Racing, 41 points to 26. Absolutely awesome. We're going to be thanking our lucky stars we've got this amount of points over Red Bull later on in the season, when they are going to be a lot stronger than us. So guys, if you have enjoyed the episode, smash the like button for a win for Force India with Esteban Ocon. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're out here, then do get subscribed for weekly F1 content. I've been Hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys next time.